mo tapos hataw. Hiya parang lindol, Master Peter ni Idol. Solid ang laban, malupit ang galawan. Solid ang punch, malakas ang hiyawan. Ang action ay walang hinto sa solid na laro. Solid ang laban, malupit ang galawan. Solid ang punch, malakas ang hiyawan. Ang action ay walang hinto sa solid na laro. Ano ba ang depensa, mabilis na kumpensa?
It's a flurry to the finish in the Commissioner's Cup elimination rounds. Palapit na po tayo sa ending at pumipwesto ng ating mga kapunan dito sa loob ng Ninoy Aquino Stadium NAS sa Malate, Manila. Ayan na, si Clint Chapman sa kanyang mga kampeng hotshots ng Magnolia. Kailangan manalo sa araw na ito para buhay pa rin ang kanilang playoff chances. Itong Titan naman, fighting for its life just to give itself perhaps a chance. A shot to rise in the standings sa ating komperensya. Ako po si Charlie Cuna with the Dean. Kinito, Henson, Dean. Titans in a tight spot. Magnolia looking to make sure na tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang kampanya nila.
Well, both of them are really fighting for every single win all the way until the end of the eliminations. Pero yung Magnolia, ang record nila, 4-5. Very deceptive yung record niyan, because their losing margin is only 5.4 points. And they are 4-2 with Clint Chapman in harness. Ito ang pinag-uusapan natin. Yung record ng Magnolia, 4-5. Nasabi nga natin with 2 more games to go after this one. At yung Magnolia nga, sabi natin, this is a team that is found its groove with Clint Chapman. They have won 4 of their last 6 games with Chapman in tow. And the problem is they're coming off a loss to Rain or Shine in a game where Chapman played only 24 minutes when he's averaging 38 minutes a game in this conference.
That's right. You want to be in the green zone para twice to beat ka. Right now, those are the 4 teams, Ross and Lex, Ginebra and TNT. Ang yellow zone naman, pasok sa playoffs pero dehado dahil twice to win. Disadvantage ang meron sila. But these could still all change depending on the remaining games.
Ang ganda ng pagkagawa ng ating production team. Naku, meron tayong green zone, meron yellow zone, tapos meron din red zone. But again, we must say, wala pang mga eliminated teams na to. Every team still has a chance. However, kung manalo ang Magnolia ngayon, that means there will be 8 teams already with 5 wins each. So those teams with 2 wins only will no longer be able to qualify for even a tie in the playoffs. Kanya, importante ito. Magnolia wins, marami na ma-eliminate.
That's right. And speaking of wins, Magnolia looking to treat this game as a must-win dahil nabigo nga sila kalaban ng league-leading Rain or Shine doon sa kanilang huling laban.
Well, in that particular game, Magnolia didn't play its usual game. They held Rain or Shine to only 7 points on the fast break end in the first half. Pero no second half, nag-21 fast break points ang Rain or Shine. Kanya biglang nalunod na Magnolia. Plus, entering that game, they were shooting 81% from the free throw line. And that's number 1 sa liga natin. In that game against Rain or Shine, ewan ko ba, nagkamalas-malas ang Magnolia. They shot only 54% from the line. And that's also one reason kung bakit sila natalo.
Ito si Clint Chapman ay nadamay din sa magandang depensa na ginawa ng Rain or Shine, pati ang poor shooting ng kanyang koponan overall because sa unang 5 laban niya dito sa PBA, ang kanyang mga numero, maganda talaga 28 points, 11 rebounds, tapos may mga blanca siya. Against Rain or Shine, bumagsak yung points at yung block shots niya and his field goal percentage fell as well.
Well, ang problema kay Chapman, he got into foul trouble. And as we mentioned, kanina lamang, he played only 24 minutes and 53 seconds in that contest, where in this conference, he's averaging 38 minutes a game. Conference low, yung 17 points ni Chapman. Kanya, yung sinabi natin na nickname niya, Make My Day, hindi po nangyari yun. Clint, Make My Day Chapman, he hopes to be able to recover in this game against Titan.
That's right. They really need him to be big, especially against an import like Michael Gilmore na hasn't really shown us that he can dominate a ball game. Let's talk about this guy. The keys have been handed over by LA Tenorio to Jerome Lastimosa as the primary ball handler, primary point guard para sa kanilang koponan. And, Jerome can blow hot and cold against that last opponent, Rain or Shine. Pretty good numbers para sa kanya, actually. He shot well, especially from beyond the arc.
What you like about Lastimosa is that he is a tough player who will never shy away from taking the big shot. This guy's got guts. 16 points ang ginawa niya against Rain or Shine. And also quite efficient. For the conference, he's shooting 42.8% from 3. 63.6% from 2. Kanya, just with those numbers, you gotta be impressed with his shot selection. Maganda pinapakita dito ni Lastimosa, not only in offense, but as well as in defense and in making the plays happen.
Kung lead guard na nga si Jerome, ito naman si Zave Lucero, ang main frontliner na rin ng Magnolia. Yan ang nangyayari yun. He was scoring for them very well since he came on board sa Chicken Timplados Hotshots. Pero against Rain or Shine, he was also a victim of poor field goal percentage. Although his numbers very decent pa rin. But you know, you expect so much more from a guy like Zave Lucero.
Only 36% shooting from the field for Xavier Lucero. At makikita natin yan in the graphics that we're about to show. But yes, he plays like an import. Ito, 9 rebounds at 2 steals siya in that contest, but only 5 out of 14 from the floor. But this guy is capable of putting up efficient numbers, no, 40% from 3-point distance and over 50% from 2-point distance. So Lucero, as we mentioned, yan ang parang import play alike ng Magnolia. When he's on the floor, he's a mismatched nightmare. Kung sino mang makakalaban niya. Oftentimes, yung opposing import is the one who defends and Lucero. And that only means one thing. Malilibre si Chapman.
That's right. So let's see if he and Chapman can have A games sa araw na ito. Puntahan muna natin ating kasama at courtside, Apple to Fit, with more on the Magnolia Hotshots.
Sa assessment ng Magnolia coaches, they're struggling on offense, committing turnovers as they are still on adjustment period, getting familiar with their system. Pinapabagalan na nga daw ni Coach L.A. Tenorio yung laro, and yet they're still turning the ball over. Sa observation niya, the players are tentative sa offense. Masyado nilang pinag-iisipan kasi yung galaw. Papasa ba? O shoot ba sila? They are overthinking. Again, it's all part of the process. Ang positives na nga lang is that number one, they're steady on defense. At pangalawa, nakukuha na daw ni Coach L.A. yung rotation ng players niya. Sino starters off the bench and his finishers, Charlie and Dean.
Well, you know, kahit medyo slow ang kanilang pag-organize, you know, Magnolia, you know, as Dean said, they're finding their range, they're finding their chemistry already slowly. Hopefully, they make it to the playoff buff. Yan ang nais ni Coach L.A. Tenorio. Let's talk about the other team, the Titan Ultra Giant Risers. Nabigo rin sila against Ginebra. Well, Ginebra really dominated that game. Titan was playing catch-up for the most part. And they've really struggled. It's not just Ginebra. It's 4 straight losses already para sa Titan.
That's true. The record nila, nakita natin yung kanina, 2-7. As you mentioned, 4 straight losses. But in that game against Barangay Ginebra, ang dami mga positives na na-pick up natin from Titan. For instance, ang bench nila exploded. 47 points against Ginebra's 25. Sa paint points, also 48 points sa kanila, 46 points sa Ginebra. They had an advantage there. Sa turnover points, 17-10 ang advantage nila. At sa fast break points, 22-6. So, those are the areas where I think Titan can show Magnolia some finer points in the game. If they can get the steals, if they can get the turnovers and score on those turnovers, we're going to have a very good game.
If there's a constant though para sa Titan, it's this guy, si Joshua Monzon. After Calvin Abueva vacated his position on that team, Monzon has been the main guy. And you know, when games get tougher against better opponents, you think bababa ang stats, pero hindi, umangat pa nga against Ginebra.
Well, a lot of people are saying that this guy is too much of an individual player. Nakita natin yung ginawa niya sa Macau and ginawa niya sa Ginebra, 20 points siya. But you also notice that the assists sa Barangay Ginebra, nag-10 assists siya, no? Along with 6 rebounds. These guys averaging 4 assists a game. So all that talk about this guy being an individualistic player, he also can pass. And he knows how to pass. He tried to get his teammates involved in the offense. Ang problema lang sa Titan, when they need a basket, they know they can rely on this guy. And so the tendency is for him to go one-on-one.
Plays great defense too. And of course, every game, Monzon is looking for someone from the other locals to help him out. And in the last game, it's this guy, ang rookie nila na si Brian Sahonia, in limited minutes, put up numbers.
Well, si Sahonia, remember, this guy was a finals MVP in the NCAA this past season, playing for Sambieda, which won the championship. But Sahonia, yeah, he's great in the open court. Nakita natin, parang contested layup. And against Barangay Ginebra, he had 17 points. Not a bad performance. 2 out of 4 from 3-point distance. And he had 21 minutes a game. Now, for someone who's averaging 8.2 points and 2.2 rebounds for the conference. Those are solid numbers for Brian Sahonia.
That's right. And now let's talk about this guy, the reinforcement ng Titan Ultra. Si Michael Gilmore, he played on the first day of this tournament and he's been here since then. He's napalitan. But, the verdict for a lot of people up to this point is he's just okay lang.
Well, he's a late bloomer because when he played 3 years for the Virginia Commonwealth University, that's the same school where your good friend Bernie Harris played. This guy never averaged more than 3 points a game. So this is a brand new experience for him, that he's averaging over 20 points and he's been able to score over 30 points. But against Ginebra, it was a low achievement for him, only 15 points, but he had a double-double with 10 rebounds. This guy needs to be able to find his role on this team. Will he play 5? Will he play 4? Makikita natin yan in this game.
And of course, Abel David has more on the Titan Ultra Giant Risers.
Coach Renzi Bahar pointed out na sa 4 na sunod na talo nila, they were in the game, fighting. Ang problema lang talaga, yung panapos. Yun naman ang struggle nila as a young team. It's a do-or-die game for them today, sabi ni Coach Renzi. Since day 1 till yesterday's practice, mataas naman yung intensity, the attitude of the players, positive naman, and they will lay it all out on the floor tonight.
We'll see about that, but we know Titan, guys like Kate Flores, of course, Munzon, they really give it their all, game in and game out. So it's gonna be tough against a Magnolia team that knows na kailangan manalo ngayon para mabuhay pa rin ang kanilang playoff hopes. But you never know. It all starts at 0-0 din, and it's anybody's ball game.
Well, do or die ito. But to use the cliche, rising to the occasion, tama-tama ang kanilang nickname, Risers. They have to rise to the occasion because matalo sila rito, eliminated. Manalo sila rito, buhay pa sila. And they're gonna stave off Magnolia from clinching a quarterfinals berth. But that's how important this game is for Titan. And for Magnolia, they want to get back on the winning track because galing nga sila sa talo.
That's right. And of course, not everything is in their own hands. So they have to wait for the results of the other games as well. Okay, we're gonna throw it over kay Mark Luzon, ang ating venue announcer dito sa NAS. Starting lineup na po tayo. Titan against Magnolia.
Hotshots versus the Titan Ultra Giant Racers. Let's meet the starting lineups first for the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots. At guard, the 2026 PBA All-Star Rookie and Sophomore MVP from Dumaguete, jersey number 30, Jaron Lastimosa. At guard, a two-time finals MVP and playing his 640th consecutive game from Zamboanga, the Coffee Prince, number 14, Mark Barroca. At center, bringing size, experience, and strength, wearing jersey number 12, Glenn Chapman. At forward, a second-generation PBA player and member of the 2018 All-Defensive Team from Olongapo, wearing jersey number 19, Rode De La Rosa. And at forward, a member of the 2026 PBA All-Star North Champion Team from San Carlos, Pangasinan, wearing jersey number 22, the Xavier Lucero. Head coach for Magnolia is L.A. Tenorio. And now, here are the starters for the Titan Ultra Giant Racers. At guard from Pavia, Iloilo, number 4, Brian Sahonia. From Pampanga, also at guard, number 24, Joshua Munzon. At forward from Negros Occidental, number 22, Kate Flores. Also at forward, number 2, Michael Gilmore. And from Lawang, Ilocos Norte, at center, number 9, Pao Havillar. And coach for Titan is Renzi Bahar. Game officials are
These are the game officials for today. Romel Gruda, Marty Montoya, Mike Tocayo, Charlie Amparado, and Obed Arlegui. And those are the starting lineup for coaches Renzi Bahar for Titan and L.A. Tenorio para sa Magnolia naman. Gonna jump in the middle are the two imports. It's gonna be Michael Gilmore and Clint Chapman.
No changes in the starting lineups for both teams coming from the previous game. So standard na itong mga starting lineups na ginagamit ng Magnolia at saka Titan.
Si Flores and Lucero standing side by side. They were teammates on that team when Titan was still North Court. That's where Lucero started his PBA career. The blue shirts are gonna take the first stab at offense. They go to Chapman. Avillonar trying to guard him. And let's see if he guards him the way he did Bull. Trying to eye him and try to quit him. There's Lucero. First jumper pa lamang napasok na ni Xavier.
Surprisingly, Chapman did not go for the basket. He had post position that time playing the 5 spot. Nasabi ko kanina about Chapman finding his role on this team. Is he gonna play 5 or 4? Usually kasi yung mga imports na ginagamit dito sa ating Commissioner's Cup, they play the 4 position, giving the locals an opportunity to play 5. Also for them to draw up the opposing imports. And that's why they have to be stretch players. Eh, ito naman, may tira to sa labas eh.
That's
Chapman.
right. That's right. Chapman has it. Actually, Gilmore also can hit the 3. Munzon at the line, drew a foul immediately, and he's one of the most frequent visitors to the free throw line in the PBA. Ito si Joshua Munzon.
Totoo yan. But, you know, maybe he can improve a little bit on his free throw shooting, although it's not bad. 76% from the line.
But we know he can be better than that. He's got a better shooting touch. That's 1 out of 2 para sa kanya. Just about 32 seconds into this ball game. 2-1 is our early score. This is game 1 ng ating PBA Wednesday doubleheader. We've got the top 2 teams playing in our second game today, so watch out for that later on. NLEX and Rain or Shine.
Now for Magnolia, they want to slow things down. Play the deliberate half-court set.
Chap inside. There's Lucero. Tutok na tutok yun, pero it bounced out.
Gagawin naman ng Titan, they want to speed it up. You know, they're known for their fast break. They're known for their transition game and also scoring off transition turnovers.
They go to Gilmore. He's faced against Lucero. Puts it up. Bit too strong. Chapman, easy rebound.
And you know, that's the big problem. When Gilmore is attacking and he's got a local defending him, Chapman's going to clear the boards quite easily.
Pass to the baseline. They go to Chapman. He'll turn. Jumper is up. And it bounces
Hindi
out.
papasok.
Ilang beses na yan, ha?
Yeah, but Gilmore's scooping it down.
Here's Sahonia. He's a rookie, but he plays like a vet. You know, very lots of boys from this championship player. As you mentioned, the finals MVP yan sa NCAA.
Siya at saka si LJ Gonzalez are having stellar performances as rookies. Ito si Chapman, hindi makapasok ng bola sa hoop. Still 2-1.
Munzon will step back for the 3. That's way too strong. And Zave Lucero comes down with the rebound. Paano nakakapa itong dalawang koponan in the early goings?
And Magnolia is not in a rush.
Oh, lakas na.
That's gonna be a hard shot on the reverse.
I was gonna say, pinahirapan
Yeah.
pa niya. I think he could have laid it up on the right side, decided to go to the other side of the lane.
Epektos of Jerome Lastimosa. But, you know, I think Titan really has to tighten up its defense. That's an outside shot coming from Avillonar.
Long 2 para sa kanya, stepping on the line, si Pau. He has that task of guarding the import, and Pau Avillonar will do anything, any antics that he can do just to try to get into the head of the import. He's been slapping that arm of Chapman away. We've been watching it for the first couple of minutes. Gilmore, umabot all the way, pero hindi na-finish yung play.
That was a good transition attack ng Titan. Yun nga lang, they're not able to finish. Gilmore missing. Actually, hindi lang si Gilmore nagmintis dito. Si Chapman, sunod-sunod na mintis.
That's right. Lucero against the smaller defender. Passes it off to Lastimosa, who'll drive and get swatted upstairs as Flores lets him know that he shouldn't be in there. 5 seconds to shoot para sa Hotshots.
Millionaire bodying up on Chapman. Watch his replay. There's a
Huli-huli
flight
talaga eh.
and there's a block.
Jerome looking for someone to go to, had to go all the way up atop the arc to Chapman, who drive, get the contact, put it up, and will probably head to the line para sa dalawang free throws as referee Marty Montoya blew his whistle.
Nakita natin yung dribbling skills ni Chapman going behind the back before moving in close to the basket.
Side court inbound lang pala yan. Puntahan muna natin si Apple David.
Chris Kuhn is sitting out for the second straight game as he sustained a severe right ankle sprain in practice last week, and he is expected to be out for 2 more weeks, gentlemen.
Well, thanks a lot, Apple. So matagal-tagal pa wala si Chris Kuhn. But well, Magnolia has a lot of very handy players sa kanilang lineup. They force a stop one more time. So 6-3 is the early score.
Here's Chapman on the attack once more. And he will go to the line. Kanina nakita natin yung post-up move. I think he's got the green light from Coach L.A. Tenorio. Look, you're being defended by Avillonar. Go to the post. We don't want you outside. Get the shots close to the basket, which is what he did. They doubled him actually on the play previous to this, but they doubled him on the wrong side. That's the problem. When you double, you have to know what gap to cover.
First free throw is a swish para kay Chapman. There's Kuhn, the fellow Apple was speaking of just moments ago.
75.9% free throw shooter, si Chapman. You should be able to make this one.
And he does. It's 8-3. Here's Munzon. He's against Barroca. Munzon going left and right. Sahonia now at the corner. Challenging Lastimosa. Drops it off to Munzon. 8 to shoot. Avillonar, he has that range. Puts that one in. Two buckets para kay Pau Avillonar. Let's talk about the Dean's list, Dean.
Well, unang-una pag-usapan natin ng Magnolia, I think they need to get second unit firepower. That's the report that Apple said, that Coach L.A. is getting more used to the rotation and making use of his bench, but they are number 11 in bench points, so that's something that they need to address. Pangalawa, Chapman cannot be in foul trouble. We saw that kung ano nangyari sa Magnolia against Reina Shine, and then they need to be tougher underneath the boards because last place sila sa rebounding in the conference, last place sila sa second chance points.
Okay, right now they want to score because biglang humabol itong Titan down to 1 ang kanilang lamang. Three-pointer from Xavier's out. There's the offensive rebound, and exactly what the Dean mentioned, that what the doctor ordered. He gets that offensive rebound and put back.
That's right, yung second chance points. Nakita natin ni Chapman out-jumping everybody. Well, let's talk about Titan, ang ating Dean's list. As you see, another miss here. That time from Jonathan Munzon. They need to disrupt and capitalize. Kasi number 1 sila sa steals sa conference. Number 2 sila sa turnover points. Number 2 sila sa fast break points. Here's another shot coming from Chapman. He missed his first 4 shots. Ngayon naman, sunod-sunod na yung mga tira niya. And back to Titan, they're also number 2 in opponents' turnovers. And next point sa ating Dean's list, we talk about brand new. This guy had 35 points in one game this conference. But he's averaging 5.6 assists a game. Yan ang importante sa Titan. They need to up their assist totals. They're number 11 in the league in assists, and their last place in field goal percentage. And there's a correlation.
Finally, move that ball around.
Yeah, finally, Chapman is just going crazy now with his offense. Finally, before we turn you over on this timeout, hole in the middle. Yan ang dapat i-address ng Titan because sino ba ang titira sa kanila at the center spot? Is it Pau? Is it Ular? Is it Flores? That's a big question mark.
That's right. Timeout has been called, brought to us by Soler Online. Play the game your way on Soler Online Sports.
Show them also that you are an import. Show them also that you are an import. Okay, attack, attack. Okay, now we go 2. We go 2 on Mike. Ikaw na rito. Dami. Josh. Down screen, labas. Okay, Josh, back pick. Go to the corner. Dami. No more screen. Fake screen. You need to attack. Okay?
Will get it against the glass. Competitive team is Pauli. Oh, great pass inside. Perfectly looked at by Pauli. Alvaro not used to 10. Lastimosa breaks loose. As Lucero drills in at 3. Magnolia is making it look so easy.
Yun yung nangyari nung huli nagtakbo itong dalawang koponan. Nanalo ang Magnolia in the last conference. Xavier Lucero was the best player. And now they stop Michael Gilmore, who Coach Renzi Bahar was urging to attack the basket. He tried, pero nabigo siya on 2 attempts. And now he's back on defense. As the Dean mentioned, si Clint Chapman You know, he's having his way on offense all of a sudden.
Totoo yan. He's now shooting 57% from the floor. He actually missed his first 3 shots. Hindi 4, pero 3. Pero after that, sunod-sunod na. Ang kanyang pinasok, he's made his last 4 field goals.
Oh, look at that stop from Aris Dionisio. But the blue shirts keep it. Alam mo, sure basket na para kay Sabian, but Aris has those long arms.
They reset the 24-second shot clock because there was a change of possession.
Might be a dribbling violation on Gilmore. He got away with that. Here's Fran Yu. He can suddenly just put it up. He bounces underneath. Ayun! Basket na rin si Michael Gilmore.
Yun ang kailangan, si Fran Yu, because he's got tremendous court vision. Mapapanggit lang natin how important it is for him to establish his leadership on the floor and keep that ball moving.
Another 3. At that time, para kay Chapman. Here comes Gilmore heading the other way. He's got some ball handling skills. Makes it all the way into the paint and then bounces it off the leg of Chapman. It stays with Titan 19 to shoot. Rafi Verano is replacing Rome De La Rosa.
And Charlie, yung sinabi mo kanina about kung ano sinabi ni Coach Renzi Bahar kay Gilmore, narinig ko din yun. He actually challenged him. You show them that you're an import.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, kasi he's not playing like an import so far.
Oh, and he makes that. And he's fouled as well. Yeah, that's a 4-point play opportunity for Michael Gilmore.
And he was having difficulty scoring.
If you watch this guy in warm-ups, Michael Gilmore, he hits every 3 that he takes. But during the games, his percentage drops. So, iba rin talaga pag may bantay na. But that time, he switched it, and now he's got a bonus free throw coming up. Just a slight tap on the arm from Zabe Lucero. And he completes the 4-point play.
And that should boost his confidence.
Quick 6 para sa kanya.
Oh, si Chapman actually before coming to the PBA, he played in the 2nd Division China League. And he averaged only 8.7 points a game, not even double figures. But there he goes. Si Chapman, in retaliation.
He knows how to finish. He's rolling to the basket and gets it on a good pass. He can do that. Off-target ang tira ni Kuntapay. Here's Barok. He goes looking for Chapman. Why not? He spins to the basket. That's going to be a foul on Dami.
Idadaktak sana ni Chapman. Actually, he actually tried. Pero hindi na pumasok. Oo, naipit siya ng ring. But he's very aggressive at the post. And, you know, that's a smart thing because we did say there's a hole in the middle for Titan at center. And Chapman is exploiting.
Maybe some changes in the lineups. We'll talk about that when we return. In the meantime, timeout brought to us by Solero Online. Play the game your way on Solero Online Sportsbook.
Sinabi na. Simple lang. Hey, I want you to set the down screen. Wait for your screen. Hey, set the down screen. Wait for your screen. I want you to pass the ball here. Hey, stay on top. Seal. Screen and then seal. Hey, now wait. If you cannot seal, just wait. Hold the ball. On baseline. Here. Now yaman on.
Fran Yu scored 35 points in that game against Macau. He stands 5'8". L.A. Tenorio was the last player 5'8" or below to score at least 35 points in a PBA game. That was way back in 2016 against Meralco when he scored 36. So these little guys, you know, they can be really potent once they get going.
Small but terrible.
Oh.
Well, si Fran Yu, he already has had a game dito sa conference where he had 10 assists and twice he had 8 assists. So this guy likes to pass. He's a great facilitator.
There's a basket inside Clint Chapman again. As you see the photos, that's the Letran champion team, and Fran Yu was a finals MVP at one point. And you saw that. Do not fear, only believe. Nakalagay doon, a Bible verse. And he's fearless, si Fran Yu.
At ang dami din ng taga-Letran.
Oh,
on the title team, there's Yu, there's Ulat, Balanza, Ambohot, Pao, Caralipio, Omega.
Whole bunch of them, yeah. Puro Letranista halos siya.
Puro Letran Knights.
Now it's a Yu Warrior handling the ball. That's Paul Lee. He goes to Chapman, almost taken away. Sangalang to Lastimosa. who can't hit the three. Bakbakan sa rebound. Bagsak ang tiga Titan. It's Josh Munzon. Ball stays with Magnolia or mag-uusap muna si Gruta at si Amparado. Ball stays. Tama, sabi ni Payo.
Magnolia. Over the last several plays, si Chapman has been attacking the basket. Ano kaya? Papalitan na yung defender niya?
Tingin mo, Apple.
Mukha. Pero speaking of Fran, yung pinakita nyo kanina yung championship photos ng Letran. Three-peat yung pinagsamahan ni Fran Yu and back then assistant coach L.A. Tenorio for Letran. And sabi ni Fran, nag-serve talaga sa mentor si L.A. sa kanya, teaching him fundamentals sa depensa, how to be a second coach on the floor. Pero ang pinaka-importante, yung pagiging stabilizer on the court and compose pag nawawala ng teammates nila. How? Well, that's when you take over. It's either you create for yourself or for your teammates. Back to you, gentlemen.
Gotta be that triple threat. As we see, speaking of a triple threat, that's a triple from Michael Gilmore. Pangalawa na yan. So he's heating up as well.
That's 9 points para sa kanya. Gilmore is now playing the center position. And si Chapman is playing 4.
Oh, Verano usually makes those types of shots, but that one rolled out at the huling tapik si Ian Sangala. So it's heading Titans' way with a chance to tie with a 3. Here's a 3 from Gilmore. That's brought to us by Arena Plus Sportsbook.
And that pass coming from Joshua Munzon. So, umiikot ang bola dito ng Titan. That's the reason why they're hanging on to the coattails ng Magnolia. Hindi nakakalayo ang Magnolia. Just a 3-point lead. Possession pa ng Titan at this point.
Munzon asking his guys to get to certain positions. Omega, he splits the deed. Munzon will kick to the corner. Bukas na bukas si Fran. But he can't hit it. Strong offensive rebound from Omega. Aris will try from the other end.
Hindi pumasok.
Munzon naman, Omega, nakuha ang inside basket. Look at Joshua Munzon in there.
Second chance opportunities for Titan. Note that Chapman is sitting on the bench. So walang kumukuha ng rebound for Magnolia. And we did say that this is the team that's struggling when it comes to rebounding. Last place sa rebound. Last place sa second chance points. Up, nakawala. Hindi lang pumasok, but there's going to be a foul.
Yeah, there's a push from behind, and Fran Yu acknowledges it. He immediately went over to pick up Paul Lee. They've been chatting ever since Fran Yu ended. Oh, it's Michael Gilmore going to get called for the shove.
And Charlie, itong binabantayan natin. Free throws ni Paul Lee. Kasi hindi pa nagbimintis yan, the whole conference.
Nako.
He's 13 out of 13. Will he continue that streak?
Well, one of the best, really, free throw-wise.
Okay. 14 out of 14 na ngayon. Yan ang bibilangan natin.
He did win as a bronze medal on free throws with no time left against China.
Oh, yeah. Was that the Jones Cup against China?
Or ABC, I think. What's that? What do they call that tournament? Champions Cup or something like that.
Okay, wala pang mintes.
Tuloy pa rin. No jinx, ha? No jinx.
Only.
Here's Gilmore against Ian. He'll take another one. That's wide left. Nakuha na ni Paul Lian. Labang pa rin ng Magnolia rito. Minute and 42 to go. Andrada, the rookie, gives it up to Paul. Balik kay Yukien for 3. That's good!
Special Lian. Ni Andrada.
Ano yan eh?
And a shout out to his brother Eugene.
Yan ang katandem ni Sahonya, di ba? Sahonya and Andrada were on that championship team.
With San Beda.
Kaya late sila jumoin sa PBA dahil naglalaro pa sila sa San Beda sa championship. Rafi Verano called for a personal. Here's the three-pointer from Yukin, brought to us by Arena Plus Sportsbook.
Ang layo ng closeout ng Titan. And by the way, now that Chapman is sitting down, I think it's time for an adjustment on the part of Titan. Dapat binapantayan nila kung sinong personnel on the floor. Now that Chapman's not there, Gilmore should be playing inside. But he continues to try to shoot from outside. Kung anong ginawa ni Chapman kanina, yung adjustment niya, nag-poste siya, tapos he just killed the defenders ng Titan at that time. Gilmore should be doing the same thing.
Mabuka hindi talaga post player din eh. Si Gilmore more of a jump shooter.
Yeah,
Green
but
guy.
sayang yung kanyang height.
That's a post player, si Sangalang, who goes outside to Paul. He's open, decided not to take it. Andrada will try again. There, he gets another one. Back-to-back threes.
2 in a row for Andrada.
Here we go. Press na naman, babawi. No, bitin. Alfaro, ang daming NCAA, former NCAA stars on the floor. At the same time, mga Letran, nandyan yung mga Bedista.
This guy from Ateneo.
Ayan, UAAP naman yan. Naki Alfaro, nawala. So Alfaro, also a champion player from San Beda, together with Sahonia and Andrada in this game.
Olaris checking in. And giving Gilmore a rest. With seconds to go here.
Balancha! That's short. And di na nakaangat si Dionisio na may hawak na bola. Nakuha na ng mga naka-asul. So Lee will hang on to it a little bit. Waste a little bit of time to try to hit the last shot of this conference to stretch out this first quarter.
Lee, by the way, shooting 36.4% from 4. And they gave up the foul. Wala pa naman sa penalty.
And that's the last foul.
Yep.
Last foul na walang free throws. Wala.
Kung si Lee ang titira ng last shot before this quarter ends, but he's not inbounding.
It's going to be Alfaro.
Yeah. Will Alfaro look for Lee? And if Lee gets the ball, he has the ball. Siya ba ang titira?
Oh, that's going to be an
Offensive
offensive
foul.
foul on Andrada. So nag-foul pa ang Magnolia. So they lose the possession with 4.7 remaining. Makakahirit pa kaya ang Titan.
Andrada giving a pick para makawala si Lee.
Sabay
But that
pasok
was
ulit kay Gilmore.
Oh,
Baka sakali makahirit pa with 4.7. Labas si Omega.
Nakita siguro ni Coach Renzi. Wala naman si Chapman eh. Pasok natin si Gilmore.
Fran Yu.
Gotta put it up. And that's a foul.
Oh, very good. They're going to call it.
That's a foul.
Nabenta nga.
In the penalty.
Ni Fran Yu sa referee.
Where was he fouled? Outside the 4-point line? He put up a shot. Act of shooting yun.
Nagmadali si Fran Yu doon at nag-work ang kanyang strategy. Watch this. Bit of a bump from Alfaro. Actually, si Fran Yu nag-i-initiate. Then when the whistle was blown, he hoisted it up.
That's from 3.
Yeah, 3 nga.
That's
3-point
from
lang
three.
niya kung sakali. 3 free throws ang bibigay sa kanya.
Not unless they say that the foul was committed before the shot was
So 2 na lang yun.
attempted. Dalawa na lang yun. But
3.
yeah, they're giving 3.
Referee Gruta.
So that was in the act of shooting.
Wow, makakahirit pa.
Oo.
Titan.
So critical yung turnover kanina ni Andrada.
Right.
Because nabigyan niya ng extra possession. Ang Titan, hindi naman naipasok ni Fran Yu yung unang tira niya.
Umihiling-iling si Peter Alfaro because you know, he obviously didn't want that to happen.
Actually, yung ihiling-iling is Coach L.A. Tenorio. He didn't want that foul. He obviously didn't want that foul. Fran Yu.
2 out of 3 para sa kanya. Lead is down to 6. A second to go. Paul Lee.
Naku na, pinasa pa.
Wala. He couldn't take it. But Magnolia with a stronger first quarter, but not by much. It's a 6-point lead at the end of the first 12 minutes. 27-21, and Clint Chapman did his work until he was relegated to the bench.
That was the post-up move to Chapman. And then he took the shot from close distance off the second chance opportunity. And then took the shot from outside. Mainit ito si Chapman. Hindi mainit sa umpisa. But then he rebounded in a big way. Chapman with 15 points.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
Kanina, Sahonia and Yuki and Andrada winning that championship with the San Beda Red Lions. And ngayon, nasa PBA na silang dalawa. They're doing quite well para sa mga opponent nila.
And congratulations to Coach Yuri Escueta leading Zamora to the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, and Yuri, of course, is with TNT in the PBA.
When the Lions roar, you better take heed. Oh, look at that dive from Alfaro, another Red Lion. Apple, anong madadagdag ko dyan?
Yung excitement daw na nararamdaman ni Ken Andrada going to this game against his former teammate, nag-usapan niya Brian Sonia, is the same. Nung first time daw niyang makalaban yung TNT, kung nasa na doon naman si Coach Yuri Escueta. And ang sabi niya, ang dami talaga nila pinagdaanan together, lalo itong si Sahonia. He knows he's a known competitor. He's not gonna back down. May konting kulitan daw sila before this game. Ang sabi daw ni Brian, nakikiusap sa kanya, pa-score naman daw ni Yuken. Ang sabi ni Yuken, hindi pwede kasi nung si Basket, ang sabi ni Coach LA, yung upo daw sa bench kapag pina-score. Itong si Sahonia, balik sa inyo.
Hindi pa naman sila nagtatapat, no? At the same time, hindi sila nagbabantayan yet. We'll see later on kung magbibigyan niya si Brian Sahonia kung sakasakali.
Okay na duel yan, kung sakasakali. Former teammates now on opposing sides sa PBA.
That's right. You see that very often, yung mga going on championship runs together and they're really tight as brothers. But once your uniforms are magkaibang kulay na, iba na.
Break up sila.
Oh, mali ang timing ni Gilmore to get the offensive rebound, to get the defensive rebound. So nakuha pa ni Sangka lang yun. Andrade with 2 threes, goes to Alfaro. The nice drop pass to Ian Sangka. Extra pass.
That should put a smile on the face of LA Tenori. Yan ang hinahanap niya sa mga players niya, no? Yung extra pass
So palpal.
to make an easy shot.
Alfaro waiting for the trailers, almost taken away by one of the best in the league at stealing that ball, Joshua Munzon. And he says, I got it, before it bounced out, and Marty Montoya says, nope. Stays with the blue. Here's that extra pass.
Ang ganda naman ng pasa, oh. Wide open. And he drew the defense towards him, si Michael Gilmore. Kanya wide open yung tira ni Sangala.
Corner, Lee brought it closer, off the glass, and some contact as well. That's a foul on the import, I believe, and Cody has a chance para makapag 3-point play.
Gilmore looking very frustrated very early in this game. Huh? This is only the second quarter.
Nandun yung momentum niya, nabangga talaga niya, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Pero maganda yung explosive first step na ginamit ni Paulie to get that separation. Ayun na naman, hindi nagbimintis yan sa free throw line.
Pasang kumpiyansa natin dyan.
16
Napag-usapan ng free throw shooting kahit sa tumitira ng nasa linis. Gilmore in the paint, jumper. Oh, that's way off.
He continues to play with a very high level of frustration. Huh? He's trying. Problema, he's losing the ball. He's taking shots that he normally would not.
Couldn't hit the third three-pointer si Andrada. Going the other way is Munzon. It's an 11-point lead na hinahabol nila. Balls on the floor. Nakuha na ng Magnolia. Looking to increase. Yuken, looking away from the ball before he had possession. And that does happen.
That was a 3-on-1 fast break. And by the way, very rare nagpa-fast break ang Magnolia. They're not a fast-breaking team. They like to play the slow-down game.
Excited na Luday at Suhabi eh.
Yun nga, hindi sila sanay. Hindi sanay sa fast break. Eto sanay sa fast break. At Titan, problema, hindi sila nakaka-fast break kasi matindi yung depensa.
Franyu, he just dives into the action, right into the defenders and draws fouls.
Well, he's a high IQ player. That's for sure. When you're that size and you find your niche in the PBA, you've got to be a high IQ
wise
player.
Oh. Especially with all the giants we have now in the league.
And of course, his very impressive assist numbers.
Ayan na. Sahonia has come back into the game and he might face Andrada in certain instances. So, panoorin natin na. Let's observe if that happens. Meantime, you hit the first, second one coming up. He misses that, left it short.
10-point lead enjoyed by Magnolia.
Here's Peter. Javi. Now Yuken. Sabay handoff kay Alfaro. Have to take this. He hoists it up, didn't get any ring. Titan running the other way, the bounce into the lane. Ular cannot finish.
How many times has that happened na hindi nakaka-complete o hindi nakaka-finish ang Titan on the break? And Coach L.A. Turner is still riding with his second unit players on the floor.
Check that out! Ganda ng salo. It was a tight pass, but Andrada was able to field it, and then he flipped it off the glass with the right spin.
And don't look like that. Andrada now has a total of 8 points.
And 9 coming up if he can hit the free throw.
Andrada, that is a career high for him. 8 points.
So Sangalang and sino ba nasa loob? Si Alfaro held the fort kasi lumaki pa yung lamang habang wala si Chapman. And now Chapman and Jerome are back into the game.
And si Coach L.A. Tenorio showing a lot of trust and confidence in the second unit players. I go back to yung report ni Apple na sinabi niya that LA is getting more used to using his bench players, and that's something he needs to do entering the playoffs.
Daring drive mula kay Joshua Munzon, finishing with his left hand. They needed that basket. The lead was growing. It's still at 11 though as Chapman comes out to receive. Now it's Lastimosa. Balik kay Chapman. He's in the paint. He'll push off. Gilmore take the shot. It won't fall. Munzon surveying the floor. Sees the lane open. Oh! Wanted to hook it over to Ambohot, but Ambohot was not at the spot. That's the thing with those positions now. You know, you have to be standing at certain spots. Di na tinitingnan.
That's what you call a failure to communicate. But a big turnover there against Titan, especially since they're down by 11. They need to preserve those possessions rather than getting a lot of playing time.
Lastimosa to Chapman, who will finish. He's just bigger than everyone else, so he's using that size to his advantage.
What a way to execute the pick and roll. Chapman is so good at that.
There's someone there. Long two para sa kanya. They've had 3 or 4 of those long twos. You know, that's a shot that has really vanished pretty much from the basketball landscape.
First basket for Sahonia. Ang nagdadala ng bola dito for Magnolia is Andrada.
That's a bump from Sahonia.
Andrada brings up the ball, then gives it over to his off guard, who's actually a point guard, si Lastimosa. Ito yung ball screen na binigay sa kanya ni Gilmore. And making the shot count. Sahonia.
See, Yutian is taller than this guy, right? And then Yukian.
Lankier.
Probably an inch or 2 taller.
But this guy's beefier.
Yes. That knocked away. Nakuha na ng Titan ulit. They're just really good in the passing lanes. They go into the middle. Sahonia up there. He'll spin, go up, and lose it. Mark Parroca can do that to you. He'll strip you clean.
One steal after the other.
Now to Chapman once again. Import contra import. He slaps away the arm of Gilmore. Takes the shot off the glass. Wrong angle. Nakuha na ni Munzon.
But yung adjustment na sinasabi natin kanina, that was almost necessary for Titan. Gilmore now defending Chapman. Nice hedge there by Chapman. At nakawala. Hindi nakawala.
Munzon was stopped by Lastimosa.
Sasabihin ko sana nakawala si Munzon, pero hindi siya nakawala. Hindi naman nagpamadali. Hold it, sabi ni Jerome Lastimosa. They've got 2 very smart point guards on the floor. Lastimosa, look. Unbelievable move by Lastimosa. Nakahanap siya ng puwang. And he made Titan pay.
That's a Baker dozen lead for the Hotshots. 39-26. 6:16 remaining. Starts on the defensive end, and then he completes that play with a layup uncontested. Jerome Lastimosa. Timeout at sa atin ng Soler Online. Play the game your way on Soler Online Sportsbook.
Let's move the ball! Let's move the ball! Let's move the ball! Akin! Play the ball out! Sahonia! Go! Gio! Josh! Right away! 3-man! 2-man! Bring down! Gio!
Mayo Uno, that's on Friday. Go to the Smart Araneta Coliseum, bring your company ID, and you're gonna get in for free as long as tickets are still available. And well, J.O. Ambot is able to steal one underneath the basket in the paint for Titan. Coming out of that timeout.
Yes. Good offensive rebound by Ambohon. Good position, in spite of the fact that Chapman and Lucero are on the floor.
Chapman, cross court to Baroka, the quick pass to Javi. Can he hit this?
That's a four.
Yes! That's a 4 para kay Gomez Deliano.
He was wide open for that shot. Yan ang maganda dito sa Magnolia. The roles are so well defined. Coach L.A. Tenorio has designated kung sino yung mga shooters niya. At si Javi Gomez Deliano, naghihintay siya ng pasa.
Yeah.
And he was outside of that 4-point arc. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Makita
Javi
natin.
has not shot well this conference, Dean. But on that play, wide open, he gets it to go. Munzon's on the ground. And the Hotshots pick him up. Mark Baroka commits a personal 15-point lead para sa Magnolia.
This is the biggest lead of the ball game so far. Namamagana itong kalamangan ng Magnolia.
Hindi pa, sabi ni Zave Lucero, meron pa. It's still glistening in this really nice lighting we have in that NAS. Munzon. Somebody's got to come to help. Then he goes cross court to King. Caralipio, the hook. Gets it right back. And goes again. Gets swatted away. Still fighting, but it gets it again. Look at that persistence.
That's feistiness on the part of Caralipio.
And then Sahonia gets the basket. And you got to credit half of that to King Caralipio, who kept it alive a couple of times.
But Sahonia with that floater, that was a daring drive.
Chapman passes to Lastimosa. The kick to Javi. Another one. Yes! Doble 4 na si Gomez Deliano.
And two shooters are going crazy in this game. Kanina si Andrada, ngayon naman si Javi Gomez Deliano.
Oh, that's a travel. That's a travel from Munzon, passing it to no one and then picking it up.
Those turnovers are piling up now against Titan as this lead has jumped up to 17.
Very emphatic whistle mula kay referee Obet Arlegui.
Ang maganda dito sa Magnolia, hinahanap nila kung sino yung mga libre. Ito na, bigyan ng pasa. Wide open si Javi Gomez Deliano.
Quick way to pile up points, right? Dalawang tira na, naka 8 points ka na agad.
And what you like also about that play, it came from an assist.
So naka 9 points si Andrada. 2 3-pointers and a 3-point play. Then Javi Gomez Deliano now with 2 4-point shots. What a bonus para kay Coach L.A. Tenorio to have those outside shooters knocking them down that way. Di pa nga nag-uumpisa yung mga Zave Lucero, Lastimosa, not so much yet. But Lastimosa now. Ang sikip ng baseline, pero offensive foul. Yeah, the hook. It was the hook. It happened in slow motion, kind of. That's why referee Gruta had to process exactly what that move was.
Well, decisions that time. A mistake on the part of Lastimosa on the baseline. Usually a very heady player. But wala na siya ng option. Could have passed, however. And right now, Titan shooting only 32.4% from the floor, and that's a testament to the defense ng
Look at that.
Magnolia. Pero Pireo, Sahonia, all of his points coming in the second quarter. That's 7 in total para sa kanya.
Much needed shot. He hit that 3. Look at him dive on the floor, but Zave is able to get it to Baroka. Cross court to Jerome, up to Javi, inside to Zave. Tak-tak yan!
Yan ang self-fixed play. Here we go.
Para kay Michael Gilmore, two-handed this time.
Titan, you know, that's what they like. They like to run in transition. Pero nakakita natin yung ginawa ni Javi. He was there in the situation where he could take another 4, but he opted to pass for a wide open Lucero.
Baroka going away from the defense, finding Javi for again. At that time, just a little off. Could have gotten a third one. They go to Kane, and Kane finishes 2 straight fast breaks for Titan. Much needed. The lead was 17. Now it's down to 12. 3:23 to go in the first half. Timeout at sa atin ng Soler Online. Play the game your way on Soler Online Sportsbook.
There's a shot here. You gotta sprint back right away. Look how fast they can get back. And put his behind. Somebody else gotta get him.
Yo, I was down here. I was here.
Somebody gotta pick that up. If you cannot get the rebound, just sprint back.
Kailangan mo tatlo, dalawa. Kailangan mo tatlo.
Don't go to the left. Let's go. Still, guide away. Guide away the play.
What a glimpse of that timeout of Magnolia. Pretty intense. If you watch the dunk of Zave Lucero, his first of the game. You know, that's how important this game really is. L.A. Tenorio, Zave Lucero, Clint Chapman, very emotional in the timeout. Even if they're up by double digits. Zave goes to Javi. Napunta kay Laftimosa. Baroka now, not looking to shoot. Now to Chapman. Cade Flores trying to handle him. Backs him into the paint. Then the handoff. Up in the air is Zave Lucero for the back shot.
Methodical play. They went to the half court and they had lots of touches before making that shot.
Check that out. That's a nice feed mula kay Fran Yu for Cade Flores with a lefty shot. Both baskets of Cade have been with the left hand.
And Charlie, narinig natin si L.A. Tenorio during the timeout telling his boys, guys, if you can't get the rebound, you've got to sprint back right away. Yung transition defense, yan ang kailangan nila because that's how they lost to rain or shine. Namigay sila ng katakot-takot na transition baskets in the second half. And for Coach L.A. Tenorio, what department he has to be happy about so far in this game, Charlie, bench points. Nakaka-24 na sila, bench points, against 6 for Titan. And before this game, ang average bench points nila, 24. So we're only in the first half. They already have their average in bench points.
Jerome Laftimosa gets to the hoop for a basket. It's up to 14 once again. 2:20 to go in the first half. Gilmore will settle for the three again. That one rolls out. Ito na naman ang blue shirts. They seem to be rolling right now. Chapman wants it. Import now guarding him. Goes inside. Baroka goes up for two. May foul pa. Wala kay Fran Yu. So Baroka, who has not been looking to shoot prior to that game, has a chance for a three-point play.
Well, he knew exactly where to go. At si Chapman, hinahanap siya. Ang ganda ng pasa, oh. Naturally, you always want to exploit kung sino yung binapantayan ni Fran Yu.
Apple, anong kwento mo?
Sobrang sama ng loob ni Mark Baroka sa sarili niya after that two crucial turnovers fourth quarter last game. As a veteran daw and a leader, di na dapat nangyayari sa kanya yun. Kaya sobrang sorry siya ng sorry kay Coach L.A. Tenorio. Pero dalawang daw yan. Hindi niya matanggap, mawalan siya ng kumpiyansa o matuto siya and move forward. And he chose to move forward. Pero in this, mag-celebrate because that was his birthday that day. Tinulog na lang daw niya. Balik sa inyo.
Sometimes you just...
Mahimbing kaya yung tulog niya o hindi?
Yun ang magandang tanong. Pero minsan,
Yes, it was his birthday. He turned 40 that day.
batang-bata pa.
Oo.
Kung kumilos.
Life begins at?
Tsaka kung kumilos, akala mo, rookie. Still got that zest and that energy. Laftimosa probably should have gone glass, missing that basket. Feed back to you. Then to Flores, but then Baroka is there, and that's going to be a foul on King Caranipio. At pag-aaralan ng mga referees natin kung transition take ang foul na yun.
And Franyo actually is apologizing to Flores. He tried a cross-court bounce pass. That's a very dangerous pass.
Especially with a guy like Mark Baroka, who we know reads that situation very well.
And also, you're up against the league's #1 defensive team. Magnolia's number one in that department.
I don't think so. Yeah, regular foul lang. Dahil penalty, free throws para kay Mark Baroka. So Mark Baroka, he and Sangha lang pala are the only remnants of the Grand Slam Sunbeam Coffee team.
Yes.
Sila na lang
Years
natira
back.
dyan.
And that's the dynamics of the PBA. You know, these teams have to continue to evolve. You can't stay stagnant even though you have a championship roster. Palagi kang looking ahead, trying to find out where you can improve.
You know, this lead is slowly climbing. Ibaba na ng 12 ulit, but now it's 19 already.
Nababa nila sa 12 because they scored in transition.
Sahonia fighting, but it's just too deep in there. Flores will kick. Aris set up for 3. He can't put it in. It rattled out. Aris Junicio, when he was with Magnolia, that was practically money. That 3-point shot, but something has changed.
He's been struggling.
Yeah, he has.
He's been struggling.
Chapman to the corner. Paulo Taha has gotten some action here in the first half. He's ready at the corner. Baroka gives it. Paulo releases. There you go. Instant offense. Paulo Taha.
That's more bench points for Coach L.A. Tenorio and for Paulo Taha. You know, it's a rarity that he gets to play. This is his first appearance in the conference.
Precisely. Kaya nga, nagulat din ako, but immediately nag-ambag na. So, as if to tell the coaching staff, guys, you can rely on me as Gilmore will go in for a jam. Bit careless on that play, and Gilmore got one to go. So, L.A. Tenorio will not like that, but he's gonna set up something now para makahirin pa sila bago matapos ang ating first half. 61 big points for Magnolia here in the first half. So, there's a problem on offense for Titan, but there's a bigger problem on defense.
And what about his breakaway galing kay Gilmore? Nobody home that time. Transition, 2 points.
You can see pati galaw talaga niya. No? He's really a wing. You know, pati yung ball handling niya, everything about his game. And not sure if he has been the right fit for Titan. Ito naman, sa May 3, sa Sunday ito. Kung may 1 free tickets tayo for workers, May 3, you give blood, then you can get free tickets. Walk-ins are welcome till 3 p.m. at the venue at Smart Arena Coliseum, and makakanood kayo ng pair of games if you participate.
20-point lead, and that point that you were mentioning, Charlie, you know, Gilmore, he's really a natural 4 because he's a stretch player. The problem is, if he plays 4, sino naman ang lalaro ng 5 para sa Titan? That's the point that we were making in our teams list. Hole in the middle. Avillonar, Ular, Flores, those are the middle guys na pwedeng hugutin ni Coach Renzi Bahad, but none of them really would be a threat at the center spot.
Parang donut lang.
Hole
in the middle. Oh,
exactly.
nakagaw na naman sila. It's
Here we go.
Sahonia. He's blocked by
That's a chase down. Chase down by Lucero.
Well, ambitious drive mula kay Sahonia. Considering that Zave Lucero, he failed to acknowledge the
Pero yung
defensive prowess and length.
Yung response ng mga players sa Magnolia to Coach LA, they went down on defense. This is what you call a chase down in transition. The defense by Lucero just making sure no easy basket for Titan.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
once successful.
Last year, the spark of the Great Revival was ignited. This 2026, the spark becomes a wildfire. Witness a bigger tour of Luzon 2026. 5 regions, 13 provinces, 14 grueling stages, local and international teams, 1 legendary title. Every pedal, every climb, straight to your screens. Catch the Tour of Luzon 2026 from April 29 to May 13 only on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free. Last year, the spark of the Great Revival was ignited. This 2026, the spark becomes a wildfire. Witness a bigger tour of Luzon 2026. 5 regions, 13 provinces, 14 grueling stages, local and international teams, 1 legendary title. Every pedal, every climb, straight to your screens. Catch the Tour of Luzon 2026 from April 29 to May 13 only on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free. Last year, the spark of the Great Revival was ignited. This 2026, the spark becomes a wildfire. Witness a bigger tour of Luzon 2026. 5 regions, 13 provinces, 14 grueling stages, local and international teams. 1 legendary title. Every pedal, every climb, straight to your screens. Catch the Tour of Luzon 2026 from April 29 to May 13 only on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free. Last year, the spark of the Great Revival was ignited. This 2026, the spark becomes...
Started hitting their shots. It's a 20-point spread rather at the half, 61-41. Grabe yung second quarter ng Magnolia din, kaya naman bumuka ito.
Kung hindi lang yung offensive ng Magnolia, yung kanilang depensa, super! They've held the Titan to only 41 points at the half. That's times 2. But that's only 82 points that they will score in this game. Kung sakasakali man they duplicate the effort in the first half. But that 41 points, that's a testament to the tough defense of Magnolia. Plus, and Titan shooting only 35.6% from the field.
You know, there was that stretch in the second quarter na sunod-sunod yung 4-pointers at 3-pointers itong ng Magnolia. Kaya naman, pakonti-pakonti lumalaki yung kanilang lamang. Ito yung mga numero, ito yung binabanggit nga din, yung shooting percentage, lamang na lamang yung Magnolia and in other departments as well.
Sa assists, because of the good movement of Magnolia, that's the reason, one of the reasons why they're shooting 53% from the field. Yung bench points, yun ang nakakagulat. 27 points for Magnolia, and before this game, their average was 24. We still have a whole half to go, so madadagdagan pa yung bench points sa Magnolia for sure. And points in the paint, well, that's that should be 28-20 ang points in the paint natin, plus 8 ang Magnolia in that department.
In the scoring department, the two imports naka-double digits na, but yung suporta na kuha ni Clint Chapman from Andrada, from Gomez De Liano, from Jerome Lastimosa has really outweighed the support that Gilmore has gotten. Brian Sahonya's got 7, the rookie. Cade and Joshua Monzon. Monzon only with 5 in this game so far. Gilmore's percentage hasn't been too good as well. So, you know, Magnolia up 20 has a nice cushion entering this second half, Dean, and see if they can hang on to a game that they really need to win.
Yung Andrada at saka si Gomez De Liano, both of them coming up the bench, and they're among the top 4 leading scorers of Magnolia. So gotta be happy with that situation. And for Fran Yu, you know, we're expecting a lot more from Fran here in the second half. He only has 3 points, but already with 5 assists. This guy can facilitate. He has the vision to keep that ball moving, to look for the best possible shot.
Here we go, third quarter action. Titan has the first chance at the basket, and Monzon will do exactly that. It's that basket. Now Baroka with the ball. Down to Chapman. Not a bad place to go, but he cross-courts it. And Rome De La Rosa will hit the target, and that's a 21-point lead block shot para sa Magnolia.
And that's what you call clean as a whistle. Halos hindi ko malam yung net. Pumasok yung tira ni Rome De La Rosa.
Oh, very patient on that play, the way Chapman was looking around trying to see who was the open man. That's a 4 from Vaughn. Kung sakasakali, he back-ribbed that. Oh, nagkahiyaan ba? Nakuha tuloy ni Gilmore. Chapman and St. Lucero got shy.
Well, hustle play. You got to give it to Gilmore. He's trying his best. And we saw that right at the beginning of the game when he was challenged by Coach Renzi.
Oh, contact. Then Jerome finishes it at the rim. Gage Flores was just too late to the spot. So bonus free throw coming up para kay Jerome Lastimosa, which could restore, which could actually bring this up to a 22-point lead.
Well, big problem for Titan is their lack of defense. And Magnolia is just brushing away that defense ng Titan.
Interesado ako dito sa report ni Apple. Ano kaya narinig niya, especially sa Titan side?
Yes, nakaka-stop naman daw yung Titan. Nakakatakbo, nakakakuha ng open shot. Hindi lang talaga nakaka-shoot. The ball movement is there. Yung tira lang talaga yung wala. That's why at the half, Magnolia had 7 more assists than Titan. They have nothing else to do but just to keep on shooting. Although may konting wake-up call dito kay Josh Monson, si Coach Renzi Bahar. Masyado daw matagal sa kamay niya yung bola. Ang daming gustong gawin. Kung gusto niyang tumira, then go attack the basket. Pero kung hindi, ipasa niya agad. Mayroon siyang mga open teammates. Balik sa inyo.
All right, well, thanks for that. I'm not too sure if I agree with nakaka-stop naman daw sila kasi 61 points ang Magnolia in the first half. But okay, that's one way of looking at it. But they do have to make some shots.
Yeah, Charlie, yung sinabi din ni Apple about them not able to make their shots. Well, that's because of the defense of Magnolia. There's a reason kung bakit ang Magnolia is the #1 defensive team sa liga natin. And Titan is feeling the pain of that defense.
That's a split mula kay Joshua Munzon. 21-point lead still for the Hotshots, and they're really living up to their name because they're really shooting very hotly in this game.
Yeah. And here's Chapman being defended by Gilmore.
Rome, another one. Not that time, but then Baroka gets the offensive board, goes to Zay, he'll spin around. And getting completed, Chapman naman. Ang papasok ron, ngunit may tulak si Clint. And napangiti na lang siya kay referee Montoya. He acknowledges.
Ang bait nitong import natin. He never complains. He just shrugs it off, walks away.
And he admitted that he fouled. Yeah, no?
Yeah, there was a push with the left arm.
Prime Yu, may tanga ng bola. They're looking for Von Pesumal. Makasakali, makapukol mula sa Rainbow Countries. Dalawa na yan. 3s and 4s. Munzon goes over to Von. See, they set him up. Can he finally put one in? No. That's a problem too when you don't get to play too much. Diba? You know, you're a specialist, but you have to come in and produce immediately. It's not that easy to do. And there's Joshua Munzon with another interception and a basket.
And that's what he likes to do because he does that so well. Steals and then the fast break basket on the other end.
Chapman to Baroka.
Another steal, galing kay Munzon.
Here comes Fran Yu to Von in transition. Stop and pop 4. Ayaw talaga. Cade will save it. Fran Yu will get it. He'll hoist up a 3.
Hindi pa rin pumapasok. Pesumal trying to keep that ball alive, but he touched the glass as he went out of bounds.
Magnolia, Coach LA doesn't like how the game's running right now. So he calls a timeout, brought to us by Solera Online. Play the game your way on Solera Online Sportsbook.
Let's go. We're playing like we're leading 20 points. What did they say inside the dugout? We have to play the game the same way. Don't relax. Don't worry about the score. Let's play our game. Let's learn from our last game already. Create good habits. Solid wins. Solid defense. Solid offense. Let's go. Come on.
Ito yung standings. Balikan natin. Green zone, yellow zone, red zone. Ano ba ibig sabihin yan din?
Ang ganda naman ng pagkagawa ng ating production team. Randy Victoria, the victor. Aba, yung green because they've already, well, the top four will gain a twice the beat advantage. And 3 out of those 4 already qualified for the quarterfinals. Yung red zone naman, yun ang next 4 that will have a twice to win this advantage in the quarterfinals. Uy, yung yellow nga yun, no?
Alley-oop to Clint Chapman. You know, parang yung paninigaw ni LA Tenorio sa kanyang mga team to, you know, get them going. Mukhang nag-work eh. Biglang ang ganda ng play nila coming off that timeout. But Gilmore sumagot naman.
Ang narinig natin kay Coach LA as they throw that ball away. Except that natapik yata ng Titan. Yes.
Yeah, Fran Yu knocked it out of bounds.
Yung sinabi ni Coach LA during that timeout was, let's learn kung ano nangyari sa atin against Rain or Shine.
Right.
Pinalo sila sa second half.
Rome decides to retreat as Gilmore had already shot the baseline. They're gonna go to Chapman sa kabilang paring. Ang liit ng kanyang kalaban. Bet na wala sa kanyang bola. Gilmore comes away with it. Front pass. Agaw naman. Nagmamadali masyado ang Titan.
That's transition defense.
Baroka goes to Chapman. He'll drop it in.
Easy 2 points.
Yeah, this guy's having his way. Si Clint Chapman.
Yeah.
Just no
Wala sa
resistance.
depensa si Gilmore. Gilmore.
Goes to Cade.
Display of
hook shot. No go.
dribbling, pero wala din. Well, you can see the Titan is trying to play up-tempo. Problema, in their eagerness to play up-tempo, they take bad shots.
Rome draws a foul. It's Von Pesumal fouling him at the post. And obviously, Rome had the advantage at that position, that spot. So free throws for Rome De La Rosa, second-generation PBA player. His father was a great post-up player and a good three-point shooter as well for Shell and Santa Lucia. Back in the day, si Romy De La Rosa.
De La Rosa's made a name for himself as a PBA, as a defensive player. Someone who can play the 3 position and someone who can stroke it from the outside.
Numbers sa huling dalawang laro nila. Did play very well against Converge. So we have 2 second-gen players in this game. The other one, of course, is Peter Alfaro, whose father played briefly for the Presto franchise in the early days of the PBA. Gilmore goes behind his back. Continues his dribble. That probably was a double dribble, not called. Sahonia will hoist. Nothing's working for Tyson.
Jerome slowing it down. Rejecting the pick. Here's Chapman. He's going to go strong.
Oh, he missed. Then Zave Lucero tries to put it back in, and a foul will be called. Gilmore ang guilty party dyan. Free throws para kay Xavier. Pangatlo na ni Gilmore yan.
Hot shots working overtime on the offensive glass. And they're getting their fair share of rebounds. Rebounding nila, last place. Sa ating conference, they're averaging only 45 rebounds a game.
Labas muna si Flores, pinasok na ulit si Pau Havillonar.
So far, nakaka-29 rebounds na ang Magnolia. So times 2, that's 58 rebounds. That's way over their average of 45.
Zave gets them both. That lead is now 25, 75 to 50. Not even halfway through this third quarter. 14 points na ang Magnolia. Munzon, he lost the ball momentarily. It's down to 5 to shoot. Havillonar will attack. And a foul downstairs. It's going to be on Chapman.
That's only 2 personal fouls for him against Rainer Shine. He had 4 personal fouls entering the 4th quarter, and then he picked up his 5th during the 4th period. Talo tuloy.
Oh! Pasok yung tira ni Joshua Munzon. 3-point opportunity for him. As he put that one in, they're going to say it's on Baroka. Baroka wants a challenge, but I don't think LA is going to go for that.
That's an amazing shot. Ito, makita natin. That's a 2-point shot, right?
Yeah, 2-point shot.
Okay.
Just a bit of a bump on the hip, says the referee.
A very awkward shot. Off-balance siya, pero naipasok ni Joshua Munzon. 22 points.
Rome baseline is open, pero andun yung defense. Lucero dropping it to Chapman. He goes up. Big to big passing inside that painted area. Working for Magnolia.
When in doubt inside the shaded area, you go to your import. Sinong mas malaki? Yun ang pupuntahan nyo.
Ball stays with the white shirts. Inbound's gonna happen right in front of us. Si Aris Dionisio ang gagawa niya. That's another bump from Mark Baroka. And now he's asking referee Amparado, what do I have to do? I'm just guarding my usual way. Apat na rin ni Mark Baroka yan. He's not happy at all, giving dagger looks to referee Amparado.
And that's a 15th foul ng Magnolia. With 6:36 to go, dahil pang oras dito sa third quarter natin. Penalty na ang Magnolia. Aatake naman ng Titan.
The drop to Avilanar, pero naabutan pa rin Chapman. Right idea perhaps, they just couldn't finish that.
And you need to foul up against an import. You can't be taking soft shots against a much bigger defender. Oh, pumasok pa.
Magaling na, swerte na.
Oh, he has that soft touch. And he got the shooter's bounce.
Wow.
That's 26 points na. At saka 80 points na.
Ayun, bumawi naman ng tres si Michael Gilmore. 3-4-3. Import exchanging trifectas. He's got 20 points, Michael Gilmore. Baroka upstairs to Lastimosa. Sahonia harassing him. They go to Chapman. Just hit the three. This one not that time. Gilmore taps it to himself. They take it across. 5 minutes and 34 to go. Bagsak in the lane. Oh, Javillanar wants to fight with Chapman. And Chapman puts up his hands and says, hey, sorry. You know,
But that'll be foul number 3.
and I'm really glad that Javillanar didn't push through with his plans because ito, yun, no? Yun, sa pag-ikot.
Oo, tinamaan ng Zico.
So, Javillanar realized na Zico yata ako at tumayo siya with clenched fist.
Yeah, Zico siya doon. That could be a flagrant one.
Yeah, it might be. And so Chapman would have to sit out. But I'm glad that Javillanar composed himself because he was gonna react already.
Well, that was a shot to the head by Chapman.
He was turning it. Iikot saan. Nakataon, nandun yung ulo ni Javillanar. And that happens for the smaller guys, you know, when 6'10" players are there. Once they turn, their elbows are pretty much at the heads of the 6'5", 6'6" guys. So they're going to review it.
They'll take a second review to check whether that
There,
was.
boom. Tumama talaga. There's no doubt about that. It was very clear.
And he crumpled to the floor.
I don't know what Coach LA is upset about, though. He seemed to be very deliberate and a bit forceful in the way he was talking to referee Bruta. So, they did review it now. So, yung decision na malalaman natin si referee Montoya is running across. Mark Luzon's gonna announce it. It's an F1, so Chapman has to sit. He'll probably sit out the rest of this third quarter, especially if they can retain a lead at this.
Well, we called it flagrant one on Chapman because tumama nga yung Zico. And Javillanar, he's the man in the middle for Titan.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill. He's been starting at number 5 for Titan. But here's an opportunity for Gilmore to really make hay. Wala si Chapman ngayon, at least for the next 3
There it is.
minutes. Ito,
Boom, there you go.
tumama, oh. Sa likod ng ulo. And then Javillanar, quickly coming up. He did naman raise a fist. Oh, he did? If you raise a fist, actually, that's a technical foul. But anyway, he held back.
He held back. He definitely did it. Took a lot of composure to not let that go, but he gets a couple of free throws, and here comes Magnolia heading the other way. Rome De La Rosa wants a second 3 for this quarter. He won't get it. Rebound taken by Titan, and this is the chance for Titan to try to come back, right? Do something. There's Javillanar now with the basket. The lead is down to 20 again. Oh, Paul Linao is down on the ground. What happened there?
Hindi natin nakita yun, but yes, man down. Kaka-score lang in transition ng Titan. Is that Fran Yu who went over
Yeah, he
from,
came over.
from the bench?
He seems to be very
help him
chummy
out.
with Paul Lee. They've been
Yeah.
really talking since They came and watch this. Paul Lee. Oh, he slipped. There's a slick spot. And those kinds of situations can cause injuries. You know?
Yeah.
So nadulas lang si Paul Lee. Na-stretch siguro yung kanyang muscle somewhere there in his thighs.
Kasi I didn't see any white shirt.
Yeah.
Bumagsak lang si Paul Lee. But
Seems to be okay.
Yeah. And good gesture on the part of Franyu to go over there. A full court press here being applied by Titan. Yan ang strong suit nila. They force turnovers. And then once they get the turnover, they go transition.
That's just too easy. Too easy for Ian Sanggalang. He's been doing that for more than 10 years in this league. So
left-handed jump hook. Galing kay Sanggalang, no problem.
wala talaga. Easy. Michael Gilmore on the run draws a foul. 2 free throws for him. What was the biggest lead? 25. Yeah, now it's down to
Wait a minute.
18.
Is he going to challenge?
22 rather.
I think Coach LA is going to challenge.
He felt that there was no foul at all on the drive.
There's a head coach challenge by LA Tenorio.
He probably saw it, from his angle. That so there was a drive from Gilmore. Doesn't mean that somebody's going to foul him. He doesn't want to talk to referee Aparado. He's looking for someone else to talk to.
Ito, panoorin natin. Watch the drive.
Bit of a bump there.
Yeah, there was a bump. There was body contact. There was a bump.
Lucero claiming that was an illegal screen. That's why he had to move in. But I don't know if you can.
The contact was negligible.
Yeah.
But there was contact. And by the way, if you challenge something like that, and the referee saw that there was a foul that was committed that was not called in the course of the review, pwede nilang tawagan yun.
The announcement's coming up now. It's going to be referee Arlegui who will make the announcement. So we're just waiting for that. That's referee Obet.
After the review, i-overturn po ang foul kay Lucero. Meron pong offensive foul. Si Pau Cavillonar, illegal screen po, offensive foul. Kaya ang challenge po ng Magnolia is successful.
Wow, successful call. So that's what LA Tenorio was saying, that Cavillonar, it's like a domino effect. One guy bumps the other.
At yun ang sinabi natin kanina, that you challenge a call, but in the course of reviewing that challenge, you spot a foul, you will call the foul. Dati kasi hindi pwede yun eh. You will only act, or you will only decide on the challenge that was made. Pero ngayon, under the rules, you can make a call that was not challenged or was not called upon review.
Cavillonar upset, but he's back on the bench right now. And Aris Jonicio claims he hit all ball on that drive. Lucero nakadraw ng foul. Free throws para kay Zave. Aris Jonicio, of course, spent a couple of seasons with Magnolia. Helped them in many of their battles with defense and outside shooting. That's Renzi Bahar. Coach yan ng Titan. Did play for Alaska for a couple of seasons back in the day. Bedista din yan.
Yes, from Sambeda. Here's Xavier Lucero. Has been relatively quiet sa larong
points
ito.
now.
He's got 10 points now in this contest. Bababa ng bola si Gilmore. Crossover.
That's a foul. But Magnolia claiming traveling.
I thought he might have taken an extra step.
Yeah. And that's what Magnolia players are saying. Because you saw Lee and Lucero looking like they're dancing to staying alive.
Let's see that. Let's see that. Oh, that's a close call. Close call.
2 free throws instead. Paul Lee clarifying with our referees here beside us. Ilan ba pwede? 4 na step? Or, okay. And of course, he's just joking around.
I think umangat si Gilmore just in the nick of time before a traveling violation could be called.
I'm looking at the Magnolia bench, and emotions seem to be really high. I mean, I know it's really important to win these games.
Well, also because yung record nila is not a very good record. It's 4-5. They're not even backing 50%.
It's a couple of games now. We've seen a lot of emotions on that bench. Magnolia.
They're under
Parang
pressure.
gusto mo sabihin, chill lang kayo.
They're under pressure to win, that's for sure.
Tough to save. Passes it to Sangalang. He's trapped by 2. Takes it anyway and gets it to go. And that is the Ian Sangalang we have really come to know. He doesn't care. There's the double, triple team. He'll find a way.
And you notice ang Magnolia, they're not going to Lucero as much in offense. They're going to Sangala.
That's a 3 if it goes. And it does.
Pumasok.
21 pa rin ang lamang ng Magnolia. So they're keeping it at that level, more or less, yung lamang nila kahit wala ang kanilang import, si Clint Chapman, who had to sit for 3 minutes. Actually, eligible na siya pumasok yata ngayon, pero they'll let them play because they're doing well anyway. Paul Lee can hit it from 4, but he decides to bring it in. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. And I think Alex Jonicio, his former teammate, commits that personal foul. Watch this. This is the 3-pointer from Michael Gilmore. That's brought to us by Arena Plus Sportsbook. We'll have another former Magnolia player coming in after this first free throw, Jeric Balanza.
And here's free throws again for Paul Lee. He has not missed a single free throw in this conference.
Let's hear from Apple David.
Iba na nga ang role ni Paul Lee dito sa Magnolia. Focusing on the little things that matter. Sabi nga niya, role player na stabilizer ng second group and he wants to be great at it. Ang source of pride ni Paul Lee. Ang sabi niya, ilang beses na daw siyang nananalo ng best player off the bench at panalo sa plus-minus. Balik sa inyo.
Okay na yun, no? Dati puro best player of the game siya eh. Pero ngayon, best player of the best. Walang problema na para kay Paul Lee. Well, he's really, he's reached the top of his career. He's won championship. So he's okay. Cool na siya dyan. And that's an air ball from Titan. 3 minutes and 3 natitira sa ating third quarter din. And it's a 23-point spread. Magnolia's way ahead and playing cool, calm, and composed.
Update natin yung free throw shooting ni Paul Lee. It's 5 out of 5 in this game. So his total for the conference is now 18 out of 18. Hindi pa siya nagbimitis from the line.
The bounce to Zay. He bounces again. Gets it off the glass. He likes to do that. Magaling gumamit ng glass yan from the front angle.
Tsaka yung two-man game na ginagamit ngayon ni LA Magnolia with Lee, who's a threat, and Lucero, who's also a threat.
Alfaro to Lee. Lucero's waiting. There he is.
Oh, easy 2 points.
That's a good
nobody home.
14 points para kay Zay Lucero. He's picking up his scoring. That lead is growing. It's back up to 27. 2 minutes and 31 to go. They caught him late. Kanina pa siya humingi ng bola pero nahanap din naman siya. Naging ganun din ang resulta.
Wala na yung import nila. Hindi pa natin nababaan yung bola. Dali mo muna kay Diyos yung bola. Ha? Para at least kahit paano, mismo naman. Foul.
Penalty.
Una, 2. Ikaw 2. Diyos ulit. Delver. Dio. No, fake screen. Attack Diyos. Okay?
Xavier Lucero, wasn't really doing too much on offense early on. He's picked it up here in the second half. But this guy, we know what he can do. He picks his spots. He's led them in scoring time and again. He has so much talent. Across the board pump stats, may rebounds, may assists.
And he's a team player. He's a team player. Nakakahanap siya ng magandang pwesto sa loob. And if he doesn't get the pass, he will set the screen for his teammates. He's always doing something to contribute to the team effort.
He's one of those youngsters on the front line who are on the rise. Guys like Arana, Baltazar, sinagay mo na siya. Si Zay Lucero sa mga pangalan na yan as Josh Monzon attacks. And he will draw a foul against Peter Alfaro. He's going to take 2 free throws. His lead has grown and grown. And naka 31 points na ang Magnolia in this period. So they've scored 27 in the first, 34 in the second, 31 and counting here in the third.
Kanina pa, nasa penalty situation ng Magnolia. And somehow, Titan not able to capitalize. You know, the two departments that have been very impressive for Magnolia na napansin natin at the half and continuing now is yung assists. 26 to 11 ang advantage nila in the passing department. And in bench points at 33 to 6. Ang laking diferensya in terms of firepower na nakakuha ang Magnolia from the second unit.
Halos lahat ng pinasok ni LA Tenorio nag-contribute in one way or another. Baskets, kahit pa layup lang, outside shots. Dalawang 4 pa ito si Javi.
Javi's back in the game.
It's been a long time, though, so let's see if they're going to give an opportunity to.
And Andrada is also in the game.
Lead to Andrada. Andrada in the paint. Supalpal ni Omega. They go to Alfaro. He can't hit the three. That's a rebound for Balanza. Under 2 minutes remaining sa ating third quarter. Here comes Titan. Munzon. Crossing over, going to the hoop. Release. Well, nice way to get free from the defense. These guys
What a
just
slasher. Oh yeah, what a slasher. And plus yung kanyang killer crossover.
Yep.
Just obliterates the defense. Ang ganda ng galaw doon ni Munzon.
Agree. Dun sa crossover na yun. Nawala yung defender. Javi takes it.
And he will make it.
He's in double digits. Free throw coming up para kay JGDL. The other one. Dalawa sila. May Juan sa converge. May Javi naman dito.
De Leon, last game, did not score.
Yeah.
The game before that, he only had 2 points. And so far in this conference, he's had 4 games where he didn't score a single point. So malaking bagay ito, nakaka-double figures na siya dito.
Munzon kicking to the corner. Balanza will drive. Layup is good for Jerry. That's the kind of basketball type that needs to play. A bit more deliberate, with purpose.
It's a 26-point lead.
Paul Lee's been holding himself back from hoisting up threes and fours. And today, ilang beses na may chance eh. Look at that. Look at this guy. Snaking in between 2 defenders. Ian Sangalang, he's a classic that's not going away.
And more bench points being scored by Magnolia. There's a foul. Pupunta sa linya si Balanza. Imagine we've got 1 quarter left. And Magnolia is almost close to 100 points. And offense is not the strong suit ng Magnolia. And just looking at their figures, sa 4 na panalo ng Magnolia, they've held their opponents down to 93.5. In their 5 losses, opponents have scored 98.4. So they win with defense.
Balanza knocks in the first free throw. Gilmore binalik na. Mumuna si Munzon.
Balanza, a 50% shooter from the line. A forgotten man in the rotation ng Titan is Aljun Malaysia. Hindi siya nakakalaro dito.
Tipped away by Omega.
A little more energy now in the defense on Titan. Something that they probably should have showed a lot earlier. Ito, patapos na ating third quarter.
Paul Lee kicking to Javi.
That's an air ball.
It's an air ball, yeah. Rush that shot as Balanza na will take it across. Last shot time, halos patas ang ating mga orasan. Pero yung lamang na is 24 sa kahanan. Lead ng Magnolia. They're at 97 already. There's a spin and then he's tripped. Unintentional. Yeah, Sangalang can say he didn't, do anything, but his foot was in the way. Hindi naman natabamang isa si Balanza sa kanyang pag-speed move. So it's gonna be on Ian. I think. Minsan di mo na alam eh.
Nag-speed
Yun,
move.
nasipa na yung leg. So it's like a trip.
Ang daming galaw doon yung Balanza. Was over in the spin, and Zahonia was in the corner begging for the pass because he was wide open. Hindi naman siya napasahan. There's Balanza. Another Letra knife. What a story he's had. He had a brain tumor that was operated on when he was in college. He came back from it and made his way to the pros.
Balanza continues to hit free throws.
Pero may chance pa ng Magnolia.
5 seconds. Paul Lee. That's a bump on Ambohot, and that's going to be free throws for Paul Lee. Napahawak sa ulo tuloy ibang mga Titan players. Just not enough space for Paul to maneuver. He was hampered by Ambohot, so the call.
Yun ang nangyari sa Magnolia kanina when he gave up that foul towards the end of the quarter. Here's Lee trying to preserve his streak of not missing a single free throw. That conference is now 19 of 19 from the line.
Personal comes in because he can heave it from anywhere on the court. Baka makahirit na with 4 seconds to go, but right now Paul Lee has a second free throw which could bring his team to 99. Just a point away from the century mark, and we're only ending the third quarter.
Only out of 20.
Gilmore stepped on the line. Gilmore stepped on the line.
Big turnover because with 4 seconds to go, it's going to be in the front court ng Magnolia. Malaking pagkakataon ito na maka-score ulit ang Magnolia.
In the rush.
Yeah,
he
that's a
stepped in.
lapse. That's a lapse.
The referee Arlegui, look at him. I love the angle. Javi Tumira just missed. That ends the third quarter, but Magnolia doing work. Another big quarter para sa kanila. 38 big points rather. And they expand the lead, 99 to 75.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
We're about to begin the fourth quarter. So far, ang bench points, paulit-ulit kami ni Dean. Lamang na lamang ang Magnolia, 40 to 12. That's a humongous advantage in that stat category as guys have come off and hit lots of shots. Javi is among them. Andrada earlier. Name it. Perimeter points, lamang by 7. Ang Magnolia. Kick-outs, open shots. Medyo humabol ang Titan dyan. Kanina mas malaki yan. So outside, they're leading. Points in the paint, they're leading as well by 14. 48 to 34. They've been driving with impunity. Not much resistance inside for Titan. And as we begin this fourth quarter, Andrada will get another hoop inside. So that's what we're saying. That's more bench points, Dean, immediately here in the fourth.
11 points for Andrada, 11 points for Juan Gomez Deliano. Chapman is back on the floor.
That's an air ball from Saponia.
Actually,
Pati siya nagulat.
Charlie, hindi na masama ang ginawa ng Titan in the third quarter.
Oh,
they scored 34 points.
But they gave up 38.
Ayun nga.
Yun ang naging problema.
Sabi nga natin, no, hindi dumedepensa ang Titan, but yun din ang sinabi ni Coach LA. No? Mag-ingat kayo. You don't want to give an opportunity for the other team to come back with a flurry of points.
Tagal na wala ni Chapman, and now he throws it away. Sahonia straight into the defense. Tapped away by Gomez Deliano. Clean swipe daw yun. Sabi ng mga referees, he's gonna stay with Titan though. You know, Sahonia is a tough guy, and he's really fearless driving in, but he was surrounded by trees on that play. You know, nakuha ni Deliano, maybe 3 inches taller than he is. Pass inside. Omega, he's blanked by Chapman.
There will be a foul.
Yeah, when Chapman says to Tenorio, challenge.
Yeah.
And Tenorio does have a challenge remaining.
Because yung previous challenge nila was successful. But sandali, will they challenge or not? Yun na, nag-signal na.
Oh,
Hindi yata nakikita ng referee. Ang laki na ng TV screen.
yeah, but it was really a bit late when they waited for Coach Mons Gavierev to assess something. And then after that, that's when Tenorio gestured. Now they're smiling.
And that's going to be crucial because if that's a foul on Chapman, pang ilan na yan? That would be number 4.
And up 26, maybe not as crucial as it would be if the situation was different.
Difficult to see from that angle.
That was ball upstairs. From that, I don't know if may konting arm na tinamaan, braso, baka siko. And they're taking a bit of time as well. Ito na, nakapag-decide na si referee Gruta. And he will announce it himself.
After na review, wala pong illegal contact sa kamay si Chapman. Therefore, the challenge of Magnolia is successful.
2 for 2 si LA Tenorio sa mga challenge niya.
Magandang resulta ng mga challenges ng Magnolia. And so it will be a jump ball. Chapman and Gilmore jumping it up.
So both challenges won by Magnolia. And then a drive by Monzon.
That's a daredevil drive by Monzon because he went up against Chapman. Chapman tried to block that shot. Naunahan lang siya ni Monzon.
Monzon's really just good at attacking the rim. Javi again, that's short. He's lost that touch that was there in the first half. Alfaro hits the deck. Sahonia was asking for it.
Oh, what a nice getaway. Mananza.
Back-to-back hoops for Titan with 10:37 to go, you know. We want to leave the lights flickering. Maybe.
Yeah, and try to get playing with pace again. And another turnover.
Hey, that happens, you know. That's why you build a big lead because para may konting oh, that's a screen by referee Gruta. That's what happened there. Tama.
Makita natin. Oo nga, no?
Nice screen from Romel. Sahonia misses the outside shot. Omega kept it alive. Gilmore the 3. That's good. 7 straight quick points para sa Titan. Then it's down to 19.
Yan ang iniingatan ng Magnolia. All of a sudden, they gave up a flurry of points. Shaking his head.
Slaps his forehead. Not happy with that because Omega tips it away from Andrada who couldn't grab it. Gilmore steps into a 3. That's brought to us by Arena Plus Sportsbook.
After losing last game, Coach LA Tenorio posted a question in challenge sa Hotshots. Ang sabi niya, bakit pag end game, fourth quarter, nawawala kayo? Dinadaga ba kayo? And Jerome Lastimosa took that to heart. May personal goal siya ngayong gabi. Napatunayan na hindi totoo yun. Na kaya niya to make right decisions in the fourth quarter. Kayang ingatan ng bola and kaya mag-deliver at crunch time. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot for that, Apple. Right now, you know, Coach LA looks really upset dahil nga ilan baskets in a row. Magnolia naman hindi nakaka-score dito. Baroka can't get it as well. But Lastimosa kept it alive.
What an offensive rebound by the small guy.
Yeah, he flew high for that one, si Jerome. Baroka finding Lastimosa open all day. cannot put it in. Way off yan. So Titan looking to continue ang kanilang run. Sahonia spins. Oh! In! Everything but the shot from Brian Sahonia.
He had an easy layup opportunity. Hindi pumasok.
Yeah, he thought, but then he was too deep, so tumama sa ring. Inside the Chapman. Fake pass from Laftimosa. The mid-range. That goes para kay Jerome.
He's not gonna miss from that distance.
Balanza.
That's a wild shot.
But Omega kept it alive. Check that out.
First 2 points by Omega. Lead is 19. That was biggest at 27.
For a long stretch of this game, alam niya ang depensa kasi ng Titan. Pero ngayon, medyo tumitibay na. But then, Javi finds his range again. Wala yan. But now he finds another outside shot.
He's got 14 points.
Yeah, he's got 2 3-pointers, and 2 4s, and now a 3. Screened off by Omega. Hindi nakabawi si Balanza. Puntik na, but not quite. If you're Magnolia, I was about to say you can hold back a little bit and waste some time, but they attack. Save Lucero tutungo sa linya para tumira ng dalawang free throws.
Tawag dyan reading the defense. Binasa nila kung anong klaseng depensa ang Titan was gonna give. Nakita ni Lucero, wide open lane. Why not? Why not drive through? But he missed the first free throw.
It pops out. Rome comes back in. It replaces Javi, who just hit a 3-pointer but deserved this rest. He's getting low 5s on the bench. Javi Gomez-Deliano. He's really contributed well sa laban na ito.
And he certainly made a difference because if we were to talk about the bench scoring ng Magnolia, we gotta give it to one of the guys who came off the bench.
Gilmore goes up and he's tight. Nahuling-huli siya ron. Way underneath the backboard. They go to Chapman. Bouncing to save. Sila makatira when Gilmore is standing in there. So they go to Chapman now. He just shoves it. Parang ano lang yun, just a little heave inside the painted area. Another basket for Chapman, who had been quiet for a long time. Benching ko na ulit ang laman. Time out, Titan.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Ito pag-usapan natin si Javi Gomez-Deliano. Off the bench nga. Ang ganda ng kanyang ambak dito sa laban na ito. He already has 14 points today and 4 of 9. Was averaging not even 4 points a game on 30% shooting, but that's all changed in this game.
First time na nakascoring double figures si Javi Gomez-Deliano in this conference. Franyu back in the game. Suman is being given a chance by Coach Renzi.
Yeah, couldn't hit a basket earlier, but when you're down big here with only 7:20 to go, why not give some of your other bench players a little bit of room? They might find their shot. There's Franyu. No goal. Lucero grabbing the rebound. Back to Chapman. Cade Flores has to deal with him. He'll spin. I wanted to say he's going to go blast, but Gilmore anticipated that, blocking that away. Stop and pop 4. short. He thought he was going to get it. He was retreating and then came back in. Passes to Cade. Ikot-ikot ng bola. Can Fran Yu finish the play? No.
That was a 3.
Ganda ng ikot ng bola nila. That's what Coach Renzi had been saying again. Look at move that ball. But you also have to end the play with a shot.
Nahanap nila yung open man. Hindi lang pumasok yung tira.
Baroka to Chapman. He'll hook it over to Rome, who swings into Jerome. Jerome in the paint. Ginaniwa! Ganda naman ang lipat ng kamay doon. Munson.
And very quickly, transition defense of Magnolia setting up. Not allowing Titan another easy opportunity on the fast break.
Cade. He'll get it to go. That's going to be a foul.
That's a power move. Lastimosa na tawagan.
Yeah.
And watch this pass. Galing kay Munson. That was a tight pass.
But this guy's a strong guy. So.
Yeah, at saka yung kalaban niya in that situation was a much smaller guy, si Lastimosa. And he powered inside.
But way off on that free throw. Sa release pa lang, he knew it. That's why he charged into the lane. Under 6 minutes to go. Paulo Taha's going to see a little bit more action. Remember, he hit a three-pointer the moment he came into the game during first half. Chapman for 3. He gets another one. Clint's having his way in this game.
31 points. And nice move there on the baseline. The game is broken wide open. Very little defense now being shown by both either team. But si Chapman, the way he scores, parang splashing.
Pero palitan ng basket, and of course, Magnolia's content with doing that. No problem. We're up 20-something. Pass. Oh! What a pass from Rome! And he doesn't complete it. He cost Rome De La Rosa probably the highest highlight of this game with that pass.
Here comes Munson. Although a shot by Chapman.
Oh, if Zabe shot that was the play of the game. Sinaya. Nagsoli agad si Zabe kay
Oh, tinamaan. Was that a 4-point attempt?
Might have been. Might have been. No more challenges for LA Tenorio. He's used them both. He was successful both times. Ngunit, wala na. Ganda na lang yun. Michael Gilmore, he keeps blocking away. The effort is there on the part of Gilmore. He's missed a lot of shots. He hasn't turned the ball over as many times as he did last game, though. 6 times and a turnover last time. He's got 30 points. You look at Gilmore's stat line. It's impressive right now. 30 points, 15 boards, couple of steals. Rome will head back to the bench as Paulo Taha is now back in the game. Former player for that other team. When Titan was still called Northport, Paulo Taha was with them.
By the way, see Gilmore with 5 3-point connections sa laro. And then just going back to his history, he actually dunked the ball for the very first time when he was in 8th grade.
Wow.
Dati nasa elementary. Kung nasa elementary siya, nagdadunk na. Oh, hindi na pumasok.
Cade is asking for a foul, wondering why he didn't get the whistle there. Putos na ba ito si Lastimosa? Another save again. So 16 for Lastimosa. Save Lucero now has how many after that basket?
They're beginning to pile up the points.
He's got 19.
Improving the stats because this lead is 30 and they still can't get the points.
That's 2 straight missed layups for Titan.
Ilan na mga missed layup nila? Kanina si Sahonia. Pati si Gilmore nagbibinti sa loob.
Oh, they left Clint open. Oh, he wasn't able to make them pay. Under 4 minutes to go, I think it's safe to say Magnolia is going to get this victory, Dean.
No doubt about it.
Oh, is that going to be a 4-point attempt?
Well, may foul doon, but Munson, such a smart player, he went up for the shot.
Four.
Yeah, that's a 4-pointer. He took a 4-point attempt and he was fouled. And, a lot of lessons to be learned. Unang-una, I thought that Magnolia left the door a little open for Titan to score consecutive points. Ito. naramdaman ni...
I think you have to call
Monzon.
that. I mean,
Yeah, you have to. Naramdaman ni Monzon make contact, and why not?
I think
Try to get
the
continuation.
purpose of the foul was to stop the action para makapasok to si Gomez sa silabot. Pero eksakto, pahawak pa lang, tumira na si Monzon. So smart rin si Monzon.
Talaga.
So I see that LA Tenorio, the rest of the coaching staff were upset. No? But I think Monzon did the right thing.
Sabi ko nga, a lot of lessons learned. Chapman is gonna go back to the bench for good. Si Laput is getting some burn time here. Laput did not play the last 2 games.
And this whole game as well, no? So
Yes,
far, up to this point.
Oh, a lot of missed free throws here by Monzon. He went 1 out of 4 on that last trip. Ito si Monzon, nakaagaw na naman.
Nakailang-agaw na naman to. How many steals does this guy have in the game? At least 3. Probably 4.
He's such a master thief.
I think, based on my count, but we're not the statisticians. They like the...
Ang magandang nickname dyan, the burglar.
4 steals para kay Monzon. Magdanakaw dito sa basketball court. Basta dito lang. Paulo Taha makes his move. There we go. Let's go. And look at the bench celebrate. Because Paulo Taha gets the switching of hands. Ken Gores can't finish again.
Too strong.
I think Cade needs a little more finesse in his game. It's power, and I love it because he's really a strong guy. Can grab rebounds and post up and dunk the ball. And here comes more finesse.
Here comes Malaysia for the first time in this ball game.
That's right.
With 3:06 to go, he'll probably finish the game for Titan. At Javi Gomez-Aliano is checking back in.
Replacing Lastimosa. Rafi Verano, Gab Gomez.
Some of the players on the floor are not second-unit players. They're third-unit players.
They're deep bench players.
Magandang senyales ito, for Magnolia because, they have 3 players who are averaging at least 30 minutes a game. That's Chapman, Lastimosa, and Lucero. And, if you're going to go to the playoffs, you want to deepen your rotation because you need to get everybody ready just in case of, health issues.
Here's Laput. Going 1-on-1. Oh, that's too sharp. He rushed that shot. And then Tenorio shook his head. And he was like, why did you take it from there? You had a smaller guy on you. But Melesio, he's always been a gunner, but that was overboard.
On the pound now, controlling the action with the backcourt. This is a 4.
He gets it to go. 3-4 for Javi Gomez-Aliano. He's got 3 4s and a 3 in the game.
And I'm telling you,
18 naman siya. See, you got Lastimosa, Lucero, and then now Javi Gomez-Aliano, and then you got Chapman. When you do 4 guys scoring in the teens and above, you're in pretty good shape.
And that bench has been sizzling.
Now
There's
foul
gonna be a
pa.
foul.
Pero no free throws. Neither team is close to penalty.
2 seconds to go before the last 2-minute signal will be announced.
This guy's been practicing his 4s. He's been hitting them. Last conference pa yan.
What a great find here for Magnolia to get one Gomez-Aliano.
Here he goes again. Oh, that was right there. Nagbintis nga lamang. Pagbakan sa rebound. Look at Paulo Taha hustling to keep that ball alive para sa kanyang koponan. You gotta commend these guys.
And they want James Laput to go up for the shot. And he makes it.
And
He makes it.
The bench is going wild. In a frenzy right now with the Laput basket. You want to see that kind of move from Laput rather than the quick jumps that he took earlier.
Exactly. And it's
And
more
look at
bench
that.
points.
They're defending like crazy, but that's going to be a foul.
Pumasok yun.
Pumasok pa.
It's the bench. A shining performance by the Magnolia bench for a team that before this game averaged only 24.9 points off the bench. Number 11 in the league. At ngayon, ito naman ang bench points ng Magnolia. We're gonna check that for you.
Kwenta mahigit siguro.
Sa dami, no?
Pwede ba? Hindi naman. Pasadong...
We're gonna give you an update. little bit, in a little bit.
Verano will try his luck from 3. That's good as well. But that's nothing surprising because Rafi can really hit that.
Okay.
The next guy they're going to go to here, I'm pretty sure they're going to try to set up this Gomez kid. They're going to try to get him. As Meleso will try to get it back. No goal.
That's second miss here.
Will they consciously do this? Look, I think they're going to look for... Oh no, Abi's going to go bounce it to Laput. Who goes to the corner? Rafi! No.
By the way, bench points on Magnolia, 56.
Well, that's Yvonne's shooting, really just not finding the mark. That's short from Ular as well. Javi. Yeah, they're going to go to Gomez, yeah. This guy can shoot the 3. And he does. Diba? We felt it's going to happen already. I called that one.
That's just amazing.
That's it. They're probably going to run this out. I think LA is going to tell them to take the turnover. That's a 37-point lead. It just grew and grew and grew.
And 135 points scored here by Magnolia. A team that's known for its defense, the #1 team in defense sa liga natin, now showing what it can do with fireworks. 135 points. That's the most points that Magnolia scored in any game this conference.
36 big points. They scored 30 plus in every quarter except the first. Javi Gomez de Liano is adjudged best player of this game, Dean.
Well, we want to give it to someone who came off the bench because that was the department where Magnolia showed brightest. Yung bench points nila, yung bench scoring. And Javi Gomez de Liano showing his shooting prowess, hitting it from all angles, from 4, from 3. Lahat ginawa na ni Javi Gomez de Liano, ang ating best player sa laro.
Alam mo, gusto ko din, nakita ko si Chapman at si Abilinar nag-uusap, nakasmile silang dalawa. Nag-sorry si Chapman, sorry, nasiko ito sa ulo. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
At the end of these games. Total, Magnolia really just dominated and Titan has really nothing to complain about now. They lost that game fair and square. So NLEX and Rain or Shine is coming up. That does it for us here for the Dean, Kenito Henson, Apple David, and the rest of our crew for Game 1 of PBA Wednesday. I'm Charlie Guna. Maraming salamat. Pero meron pang NLEX, Rain or Shine. Huwag niyong kalilimutan, top 2 teams yan.
Congratulations to our player of the game, Javi Gomez de Liano. Javi, before this game, you only saw limited minutes that constricted your average to just 3 points. But what was it about tonight that led to you making an impact right away and earning yourself more minutes?
Yeah, I'm just being a true professional. You mentioned that I've just been scoring 3 points per game, but what the team needs from me, like I try to make it up in other ways, like being a good teammate, spreading that good energy in the court, because I don't control the minutes I play, but what I can control, like especially off the court, is just to motivate my teammates and just cheering for everyone.
Javi, how special is it for you to be player of the game tonight? Is there anyone you'd want to dedicate your performance to?
I miss it. It's been 2 years since I last been here, like in terra firma. Just continue working, and I know we have a great squad out here, and I'm glad that we won today because every game is a do or die for us. So in any way I can do to help, I'll do whatever.
Thank you so much, Javi. Let's now hear it from Coach LA.
Welcome to our post-game press conference. We have Coach L.A. Tenorio of Magnolia with us. Coach, congratulations. Talking about bench points, last game niya, 16 lang. Tonight, if I'm not mistaken, 59. And ang ganda nung distribution ng scoring. Halos lahat ng pinasok mo, Coach, umiscore. Just your thoughts on how your players played today, especially before the game. You mentioned how you're still struggling on offense.
Yeah, actually, we were struggling offensively, no, because I always emphasize playing defense on this team, no. So we got that on our, siguro on our end, the defense. Now we have to fix our offense, no. We still had decent 15 turnovers, no. But again. I'm not worried about our point production, no, sa team namin, because in any given time, in any given night, every player sa team namin can really score, no. Just like now, no, we scored 135. I don't remember sa career ko na as playing also and now coaching scoring 135, no. So it's just show that are capable kami as a team to score also, no. But the past games kasi I'm really emphasizing the defense. So maybe now we have to combine and ipagsamahin namin ng defense to offense, and by doing that we have to limit our turnovers, which is our problem, no. Decent today, we only had 15, but we still gave up a lot of offensive rebounds to the other team, and that's one of the concern also.
Titan and Magnolia going at it here at the NAS in Malate, Manila. And Magnolia needing to win this game to keep its playoff hopes alive. Dave Lucero getting the first bucket of the game in the paint. Jumper para sa kanya. A good game overall. On the other side, nag-umpisa naman ang scoring para rito sa Titan from the field. Pau Javillonar with that outside J.
Surprising jump shot galing kay Javillonar starting at the 5 position. Kanina nakita natin yung pass ni Chapman to Lucero, and then Gilmore is gonna stroke it for 3.
With a foul to boot. So 4-point play nangyari doon. But the Titan team had its hands full against this guy, si Chapman.
Here we go with that two-man game on a strong side. Chapman getting an assist, and by the way, 37 assists ang na-compile ng Magnolia for the entire game. That's a lot of passing.
That's a lot of passing. Andrada coming off that bench, end one situation. He hit 2 3-pointers prior to that. So, ganda ng kanyang naimbag sa second quarter. Ito, isa pa to. Javi Gomez de Liano. 4 yan. Hindi lang isang beses. Nakadalawa yan in the second quarter.
And both those guys delivered big time off the bench. Si Andrada at si Gomez de Liano. At si Gilmore naman nakadunk. And to close out the scoring here in the highlight section, Yastimosa. Si Dave Lucero rather.
And then 20-point lead na at the half. So that lead was growing and growing. Enter that third quarter, halos patas ang labanan. But Magnolia was more than content to just exchange baskets. Gilmore hits that 3-pointer. But then Dave Lucero comes back on the other side to answer.
Actually a big quarter for Titan with 34 points. But yun, nakatira na naman si Lucero and si Joshua Monzon. He was a live wire from start to finish. Yung kanyang killer crossover, getting him free for an easy layup. At si Sanggalang, also a big contributor off the bench. Kita natin dito, isolation para sa kanya, one-on-one, nice swirl move, too late to double team.
Sanggalang humihirit pa rin. 99-75, so lumaki pa lalo 24 entering the fourth quarter. And then Joshua Monzon, the referee sets a screen for him, Romel Gruta, and he gets that basket. And look at Alfaro looking at Gruta. Ref, ano yun?
Yun. Nako, nabigyan na ng screen. Tuloy, nakapunto si Monzon. Thank you, ref.
Such a strange play. We showed it to you 3 times.
But I think, he should situate himself that he's away from the play. Anyway, lesson learned. Si Flores naman with a big-time move. Big time meaning big. That's a power move coming from Flores.
Just too much Magnolia though, Dean.
Yeah.
As we see Lastimosa stepping back for the 3. Challenge from you, doesn't do anything. Pasok yan. And then Zay Lucero closing everything with a strong run of baskets towards the end.
And it's going to be Xavier Lucero, He was very quiet early on, but towards the end, he still finished with big numbers.
And that is how it ends. Victory para sa Magnolia.